Hi everybody. Good news story for this week actually comes from the wider community in Southend. I was part of a Zoom call this week which had about just under 80 people on the call, and it was actually celebrating what BAME communities, Black and Asian minority ethnic communities, how they are faring and getting on in Southend in this current time. And I just want to tell you the story that a member of the Chinese community told that group about how the Chinese community responded, the Southend Chinese community responded. So there's a grouping called the Southeast Essex Chinese community, and as soon as lockdown came, of course, like everybody else, all their businesses had to shut. So they got together and just asked themselves the question, we can't trade, but we've got sort of, lots of food still. What can we do? And they took the decision collectively to provide meals for key workers in hospitals and in care homes. And over the next 2 weeks, they supplied, I think the figure was 2,000 plus meals to care workers in Southend Hospital, I think Basildon Hospital, and care homes across Southend. They came to the end of that 2 weeks and they weren't able to do that anymore. But they'd become aware by then of the chronic shortage of PPE. So as a community, they came together, they pooled their resources, and they put in an order for, I can't remember how many, but thousands of surgical masks. They ordered it from China. The materials came in, and they soon discovered that given the demand in the care homes and in hospitals, that first assignment just went so quickly, and the need was still huge. So they came together again, they clubbed their resources together again, and they put in another assignment for, I can't remember how many, X thousand surgical masks, and this time for 1,500 gowns, protective gowns for people. They ordered it from China, they got it from China to Hong Kong, they made the arrangements for it to be transported from Hong Kong to the UK. They got the order in to Southend, and they then started distributing these masks and these gowns. And they went as far as Romford. They got them in as far as Romford. So just a phenomenal response. And then on social media and Facebook, there began to be some really, really vicious comments about China, about Chinese people locally in Southend, and some really, really hateful, spiteful, completely out of order comments. So they met as a community. Some of the community met and said, what do we do about this? How do we respond to this? And they didn't feel that they could just ignore it, but they didn't feel either that they wanted to sort of, create an antagonistic response. So they decided that they would go to the council and they would go to the police and they would ask them for advice as to how to best respond positively. And out of that, a strategy was developed with the council and with the police. The police themselves took it upon themselves on the basis of hate crime to go to the social media platforms, tell them what was happening and ask them to take the post down. And they supported the Chinese community in handling what was a really vicious sort of verbal attacks on them as a community in a really constructive way. And someone else on the call said, what a brilliant example of having a problem and turning it into an opportunity. And that is a really great way for anybody to understand the issues that we face, that we would not welcome, that are sometimes hostile, but to see these situations as an opportunity to respond positively and well. And certainly for those of us who know Jesus, that's what he did, that's what he exampled, and we can illustrate that in our own lives. But hey, applause, I think, from everybody for the way the Chinese community in Southend have responded to this current situation. Have a great weekend, everybody. God bless you.